Hello everyone! Today I have a project for you featuring some gorgeous, beautiful products from Paper Rose. I'm going to be using mostly the Antique Rose collection, but I'm also going to pull in this die. I adore this die. I was so excited and happy to get it in my first design team order. And I'm going to use some of the pattern paper, the shimmer cardstock, and I'm going to do a bunch of die cutting. So my plan is to create that die and use it as my title. Then here's a photo. This is my niece and my nephew, and I just snapped this adorable picture of them kind of hanging out and being amazing. And so I really wanted to go ahead and get that photograph scrapped. So let's get started. I'm going to start with all the die cutting, and I'm just going to show you the finished piece because it's just a lot of gluing. The die is really easy to use. I think maybe the hardest part is getting the make and the my in the correct position when you're putting all the layers on top. But so I would suggest doing those two words last and then lining everything up around it makes it much, much easier. I know that I want to go ahead and use some of these cut apart pieces, and I'm saving all of the branding strips. I'm actually going to use one of those branding strips on my layout today. So I'm going to choose just this little label. This is going to give me a place to stamp the date and also just to write a little bit of journaling about who's in the photograph in my finished layout. I am going to mount my photo once with the blush shimmer cardstock and once with that lovely dark tone-on-tone pattern paper. I wanted to have a lot of fun contrast on this page, and I really wanted to highlight this collection because I just think it is so gorgeous. In the description box below, as always, you will find links to all of the Paper Rose products that I used in my video today. Paper Rose is located in Australia, but there are a few retailers in the US that carry their products. So I'm going to go ahead and link up from the main Paper Rose website. But you can also keep an eye out for products in your US-based stockists. I know that there are lots of people that watch my channel that are in Australia, but there are also lots of people that watch my channel that are in the US and Canada and other places. So I will be just linking up the main Paper Rose website because that way I can be sure that they have all of the different products that I used in stock. So what I have done here is this is kind of my plan, right? So I'm going to use these 3 patterns. I'm going to break my layout up into thirds. I'm going to do some tearing. Those two little pieces that I'm going to stack under my title piece are both from the cut apart sheet. So when I tore this paper, I really didn't like the harsh white torn edge there. I wanted to kind of dull it a little bit, but I also didn't want it to be brown. So I went through my Distress Oxide inks and I found that Tattered Rose was perfect for this. So I just am putting a little bit of Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink on to the edge of my page, and it's just going to give it that kind of warm, peachy, light color to the edge without having that stark white or without bringing in more of like a brown or a dark. It just kind of dulls that harsh white edge perfectly. I'm going to also use this branding strip. So I have my torn edge. Then we're going to add some layers with the branding strip and the photo onto my page. And then I'm basically going to do the same thing on the other side, or very similar. For the other side, the only thing I'm really going to change is that instead of using a branding strip, I'm going to use the scrap of torn pattern paper that I tore off of this pattern, because the pattern on the back, that kind of tone-on-tone floral peachy color, is one of my absolute favorite patterns. So when I tore off the striped piece, I was like, no, we're not going to let this go to waste. We're going to use it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and ink everything up using that tattered rose. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the layers. So we have the striped piece, and then we have the tone-on-tone pattern. And then I'm going to go ahead and add one of the branding strips as well. So we just have an extra layer on that side. And then I can go ahead and kind of layer up those floral pieces and this layered die cut piece that I had gone ahead and die cut. I also, you can see off to the side, I have some dark colored hearts. Those are extras. I cut more than I needed, I guess. I actually think that what I did, I'm trying to remember, I did this layout a long time ago. Actually, what I think I did was I eliminated one of the layers in the hearts in the die cut, so I could have those little extra hearts to use as embellishments on my page. So there is the basic design. Now we're going to go through all of these gorgeous die cuts and go through them. As an aside, so after being on this design team for a while, or for a couple months, if you happen to go over to Paper Rose Studios website and you're kind of looking at their collections and things, if there is something, a specific line, a specific collection that you would really like me to show in an unboxing, or create a layout with, anything like that, I am more than happy to take requests. And you can pop those down in the comments below. I am more than happy. I don't think that there is a paper collection of theirs that I couldn't work with or couldn't create with and don't love. So feel free. Absolutely, 100%. If you have a request, by all means, pop it down in the comments. I went back and forth between these two cameras trying to decide which one I wanted to use, the brown one or the black one. I went with the black one because I don't have any other brown anywhere in my layout, but my photo is black and white, so the black would work. And so many die cuts. So I've taken them all. These are the embossed die cuts, so I popped them all out, put them in a little baggie, and we are good to go. Now I am going to go ahead and adhere them all down. I mostly use Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and use wet glue to glue all of my Paper Rose papers together. They're in between glossy and not glossy, so they're not glossy, right? But they do have a little bit of a sheen on them, which doesn't bother me in the least. I actually quite like it, because if I want to do any kind of mixed media or anything like that on this page, on a page like this paper will hold up to that really, really well. But I do find that my specific tape runner doesn't want to stick to this paper, so I use my wet glue. And then I am going to come in with these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous hearts, and I'm going to scatter them around just like I would any other little detail, whether it's sequins or Nuva drops or little gems. I'm going to put them all around my layout in exactly as I would for those last little details. And then here are all of the close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And that really helps my channel. It really helps the algorithm to show my videos to more people who would then love them. So I would appreciate it so much if you could do those things for me. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.